The channel. I actually wanted to take a look at some of the clips from the USA versus Germany World Cup semifinal. This is just a highlights that the FIBA page posted. You can find it on their page, but people are making a big fuss about, you know, what does Team USA need? What were they lacking? So I'm gonna go through some of the clips here and see what was actually missing, where Germany got the best of them, and yeah, let's get into it. So I'm starting in the end of the second quarter. Um, this is basically where, it's basically a tie game. So we'll see where Germany had the better plays. But as you can see straight from the starting lineup, uh, Steve Kerr will probably be getting a lot of flack for this. But you have basically four small guys: Edwards, Halliburton, Bridges, Josh Hart, and Paolo at center. And then if you look at Germany's lineup, they have Franz, who's like 6'10", Tice, who's like 6'9" or 6'10". I think another guy, Obst, I think he's 6'8", and then they have Mo Wagner also off the bench. He's close to 7 foot as well. So you can already tell there's a huge lineup difference. And this is going into the halftime, so even it's not necessarily the starters versus starters, but it's a good indication of just the size difference in Germany versus USA. USA is basically four guards. Bridges, you could say, is maybe a small forward, but he's like 6'6", 6'7", and is frail. Also, he's a skinny guy. He's a good defender, for sure. Like on the ball, guarding point guards and stuff. But in terms of guarding size, he's definitely not the best matchup for size, as we saw against him guarding Luka a couple of years ago in the playoffs, getting absolutely dominated by him. So, just from this first play, it was just like a horn set, I think, and then especially late shot clock situation. Obviously, only 7 seconds left or 9 seconds left in the second quarter. They just give a desperation three, but look. Josh Hart is basically pinned under the basket by Daniel Tice. He has no opportunity to rebound. Paolo's kind of just looking at the ball, and Tice gets the offensive rebound, and he's able to put it back up. So it's pretty simple plays like that kill the U.S. Obviously, the U.S. is not going to get dominated. They only lost by 2 points, even though some of those points were garbage time. But yeah, I mean, small plays like that is going to be the difference maker. So this is the third quarter now. Another kind of horn set, and then another kind of a small lineup. You see Brunson, Hart, Bridges, I think it's Edwards, and Jaren Jackson. Jaren Jackson has to patrol the paint because he has to be aware of any cutters and the defensive scheme that they were playing. He's basically the cleanup guy at all times, trying to block every shot. And because of that, Tice gets a mid-range jumper. I know it was because of the kind of the almost looks like a zone that they're playing, and there's no defensive 3 seconds in FIBA basketball, so Tice just spots up at the free throw line and gets he's a capable shooter for sure. And look at that. Every single time they're trying to use their size to their advantage. They're trying to post up. Bridges he's got 30-pound disadvantage or something like that on Tice. And then the other thing was the inability to keep players, from attacking the paint on defense. Like, that's a simple kick out. You should just be able to, shuffle your feet and just stop. Obviously he's a shooter, which is why Brunson tries to run him off the line. But then Germany did a nice job of spreading the floor, so Jaren Jackson has to help all the way from 3-point line to the paint, and then they're able to drive and kick and get an easy three. So if you run that play back, Jaren Jackson is on the perimeter. He has to help on defense now. Right here, he has to help all the way into the paint, and then Edwards has to help out on Bridges, who's also getting manhandled in the paint as well, like I said before. So Ant ends up all the way over here, and you leave a pretty good shooter, and people forget that the FIBA line is a couple feet shorter, so pretty much everybody is a capable 3-point shooter. If they're like in their mid 30s in the NBA, it seems like everybody's shooting a little bit better. Obviously, we saw what happened with Dylan Brooks in the third place game. Even him, he was shooting pretty well in this tournament. I think close to 40% or even over 40% from 3-point line, because he was a good mid-range shooter actually. He actually took a lot of mid-range jumpers. People hate him for that in the NBA, but in FIBA, that's pretty much the same range as a 3-point shot. This is another pick and roll at the this time Jaren Jackson shows, because he was getting killed for switching. Because obviously it's a big mismatch between him and Josh Hart. They're not really capable of guarding the same guy, but Jaren Jackson shows, or he thinks he's switching, and there's no communication. And once again, Edwards helps off of the corner. He's not able to get back and defend his man. That once again, Jaren Jackson was too late. And then once again, Josh Hart gets caught on the closing out on a 3-point shooter. I don't want to kill Josh Hart, but it's just like a lot of these guys are put in bad situations. Like, why is there 4 guards on the court with Jaren Jackson? If Germany has size, you gotta eventually try to match them up with size if something's not working on defense. He just gets beat on the baseline and they kick it out and get another, kind of a floater to go from Daniel Theis. USA did some good things as well offensively, but another mistake by Jalen Brunson there. It's kind of a curious decision from Steve Kerr again. Why Halliburton wasn't playing more, because Halliburton was playing, had a plus on his plus minus pretty much every single game that he was in the game, and it was by a pretty big margin as well. And then Franz Wagner, he's the probably most dangerous in transition, gets the Euro step. He has like great touch around the basket. A lot of Magic fans will tell you about that for sure. This time Halliburton's on that point. Gets the floater to go over. Like, he's using his size over Dennis Schroeder, something Brunson can't really do. Brunson obviously can attack in different ways, but then he's a liability on the defensive end as well. Nice pump fake and go by Anthony Edwards. Obviously the USA is more skilled, like all around, 1 through 8, but it's just like some small adjustments that Steve Kerr failed to make, I think, and some semi-poor roster construction. Obviously Brandon Ingram was out for this game as well, but he never really adapted to the defensive scheme, I think, for Team USA. They switched that pick and roll, so Paolo's playing center with basically four guards. Why not play Paolo and Jaren Jackson together? Paolo's never played center for the Magic, basically, and now he's playing, center for Team USA in the semifinals. It's just a one game, knockout game, basically. And he's known to not be the best defensive player either as well. So, you're putting him in a tough position where he has to switch onto everybody, be the cleanup guy on defense as well, and hustle for all the rebounds as well. Shooter thinks he has a mismatch, and you can't really blame Paolo for that. He was just guarding for Shooter at the line, but like I said before, the line is a little shorter, so players, they aren't scared to shoot from behind the 3-point line, and Shooter was obviously really effective, winning the eventual, I think, World Cup MVP. Nice dribble penetration by Halliburton, and kicks it out to Josh Hart for the open three. This time, Paolo gets a post up. Josh Hart gets in the paint. So that's why they tried to beat them with small ball, but it would have been wise to maybe try it for a couple minutes and then, try the, different types of lineups for a couple minutes and see. But, and USA was warned as well. They played Germany in the game in Abu Dhabi, where Germany was up big, like 10, 15 points going in the fourth quarter, and then USA had to make a miracle comeback with Anthony Edwards like making pretty much every shot. So the USA was already had like a basically a warning to them that Germany is serious, and they can definitely attack them. If you take a look at this play, so this time they have Bobby Portis at center. Once again, play Jaren and Bobby Portis, or play Paolo and Portis, because Portis is probably a bit more experienced at that center position. But Reeves is basically the help guy on defense because they're spreading out the floor, and then that causes problems for the defense as well. This time, they isolate Portis on this corner. Paolo can be helping as well in the middle, but Reeves probably just steps in too much because he thinks that's his responsibility, and then he gets an easy kick out to the corner. For some reason, Portis was a little lacking on his closeout there, but this time they actually have Paolo and Portis in, but Paolo's never been that type of guy to do all the dirty work, I don't think. So he gets caught with ball watching a little bit. Yeah, he never puts a body on him, and the guy comes flying in for the rebound. I think the weakness of the Team USA for this time was just like power forwards, where usually you have like Draymond or Chris Bosh or Bam Adebayo. I remember Kenneth Faried going off. I think it was like in the 2014 or I forget the 2014 Olympics. I forget the exact year, but I remember him going off because he would just do the dirty work, grab the boards, box out, hustle, and get basically the basketball into the the guard's hands. This time, just a pick and roll with him coming off the corner, and he knocks down the shot. Yeah, Paolo's he was kind of playing drop coverage, and Halliburton was late on the closeout. Nice play by Brunson to snake, and that's actually a really good read by Paolo to find the weak side corner. This time, another time where Halliburton gets lost on the screen. Maybe that's why Steve Kerr wasn't playing him that much. His defensive issues as well. But then again, you have Reeves, Halliburton, Brunson, and Bridges, I think, with Portis at center. So it's a smaller lineup, and with the amount of screens that Germany is setting off ball, you're gonna get killed on those. Bobby Portis is at the center position, so he's not able to help, especially because I'm assuming the guy he's on is a shooter. They're able to post up Brunson. The second he helps, it's a kick out to Mo Wagner. That's a pretty smart closeout by Halliburton, but that's a tough shot by Mo Wagner to fall. The offense was definitely not the problem for the U.S. It was just lack of stops. Once again, Dennis Schroeder gets the step back on the isolated Paolo. Hit him a three before, and now he gets him in the paint and lets him know. Brunson, Jaren Jackson pick and roll. Nice move by Brunson to get in the paint on that one. Another big screen. Look at this guy. He's so much bigger compared to Bridges, but Jaren Jackson is actually in a decent help position right now. But Franz Wagner is excellent around the rim, and does that occasionally to NBA defenses, not just FIBA defenses. Nice backdoor cut. Like this time, Schroeder, it's a crunch time possession. 8 minutes left, down 8. You need to get some stops, and Schroeder is just blowing right past Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards made a big deal about getting that number 10 and being that Kobe of this team basically, but You forget those guys used to lock in on defense. Kobe, LeBron, Wade, Dwight Howard, Chris Bosh. These guys used to lock in on defense. And Jaren Jackson has to come all the way from here, so he's not able to clean up. And Reeves is basically the help side defender. Bridges can't leave the strong side corner. And Jaren Jackson's just like a half a second late, and he's, worried about his fouls as well. Jaren Jackson's used to playing next to Steven Adams, or he used to play with Valanciunas, so it would have been smart to even put, Walker Kessler in with him. There's no 3 seconds, like I said, so, Walker Kessler or even, Bobby Portis or Paolo, if you want somebody more athletic who can run with the Team USA. I would have not even minded like somebody like Jalen Duren, who was balling out for the select team. Did well against them. I remember the select team was beating the starters for the first couple of games. Nice probe by Brunson to keep the guy on his back. But it's just like you're trading buckets and you're down 8 or 10 points. You can't really do that. They finally made a late run. I think Wagner actually knocked the ball out of his hands, but once again they're trying to pin Jaren Jackson in with a screen. Tice gets open for the jumper. You could even see Bridges like holding his back because he's been getting like pummeled in the back from all these box outs. It's gonna take a toll on your body. And then once again they're posting up Reeves, who's Halliburton is the weak side defender. Anthony Edwards can't really help from this side. Gets a post up, and Jaren Jackson he's on the perimeter again, right? So he's actually on Franz right now, so he definitely can't help. He can't make the help too obvious. Team USA made a late run. Halliburton, nice kick. But look, they're down 10 and they're down 12. Still can't close the gap. Somebody like Cam Johnson was probably it doesn't seem like much on the roster because he's like the 12th man or whatever, or 11th man. But it's like, if you just have like Jalen Duren or somebody like even like a Aaron Gordon, like somebody who does the dirty work, somebody who plays defense. He can run as well. He's super athletic, obviously. I think that guy would have just been a little bit more valuable because you had some more, I guess, like adaptability in terms of your roster, because you have Reeves or Cam Johnson. It's like you basically, the same guy who's going to stand in the corner and not try to knock down threes, or like between Bridges and Johnson, because like, yeah, Bridges and Reeves are better on-ball creators, but it's like you can't have too many on-ball creators when you already have Reeves, Brunson, Halliburton, and Anthony Edwards. I think that's why Brandon Ingram struggled as well, because he's not really used to being a corner three-point shooter, just stand in the corner and try to play defense. Like, I remember Zach LaVine actually played that role really well in the last Olympics. I think it was 2021 because of COVID, where he was actually one of the better lockdown defenders on the perimeter. He was good. He has some good size to him. He has a good build, and he's able to guard people as well. And he can run in transition as well, hit some knockdown threes as well. So I thought he was really valuable, and probably is going to be a good option for them next season if he wants to play for the next Olympics. This time, Jaren Jackson gets switched onto shooter, but they're gonna, automatically or instinctively switch that. And Schroeder once again has to take on Reeves, but Jaren Jackson, has to close out from the perimeter again and is just not able to close out in time. Nice bucket from Reeves. This is a crucial possession, one possession, one possession game, 1 minute left. Just over a minute left, and you get beat on a pump fake. That's just lack of focus. He was already chasing him. Let's see how far. Yeah, another screen as well. So he got caught on two screens. Fell for the pump fake and got sent to the shops. Good defense by Germany. Like I said, they just have the bigger team, better, rim protection. And then shooter is basically the dagger. Gets ISO on Reeves. Nobody's able to help him out, and that's pretty much the ball game. Up 6 with like 35 seconds left. I think Reeves actually got an offensive foul for that. But still, another miscommunication. That really killed the game right there. Obviously, that's the end of the game right there. Just a foul game. I think they had one more chance to shoot a 3, but they missed it, and Paolo got the rebound. But some poor roster construction, some poor adjustments. Obviously, the lack of size killed them as well. So, yeah, that's pretty much that's the game right there. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this breakdown. Obviously, going to be doing much more once the NBA season comes around. But yeah, make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.